What fact about reality terrifies you or gives you that dreadful feeling in the pit of your stomach? Please like and subscribe to support this channel. We won't solve the issues with long-distance space travel for organic life in my lifetime. It's very possible that we may never solve all of the issues. Particularly when it comes to dealing with the effects of low gravity. Muscle deterioration, that weird thing with the eyes. Hell, just the idea of faster than light. Which means that this third rock is likely all we've got. Thus, it's more likely that the future will end up into Judge Dredd than Star Trek. We may never learn if we are alone in the cosmic void. I'll reply again. Let's say for the sake of my idea humans are able to exist for hundreds of thousands of years. What is our ultimate purpose? We gain the ability to explore the universe. We meet other races. We have almost unlimited resources. What next? What is the collective goal? No new experiences. A stalemate for humanity. Can it happen? The fact that one day we may have nothing left to learn or experience. What then? TLDR running out of things to experience. I have 3, and all 3 are physically painful to read. Write down because I'm so afraid they're true or going to happen, either that I'll go into college and have no idea what to study, and if I do study something I'll be mediocre because my mind keeps telling me that even though I get A's in all my classes, I'm kind of a jack of all trades, master of none kind of person. I'll still never be good enough at a single thing to actually have a successful career. And, secondly, that by the time we actually get in contact with other sentient life in our galaxy, I'll either be long dead or really old and unable to really enjoy it compared to if I was young and in my prime. Lastly, that I'll get Alzheimer's disease before they're able to find a cure, effective treatment, and I'll start to lose my memories and personality until I'm just a husk of what I once was. I'll become less than how I once was and become a burden to my family and loved ones and probably live my last 5 to 20 years because of it. This is a legitimate concern because my grandma had it and that there's a 50-50 chance that my mom might have it. And if she does, then there's a 50-50 chance that I have it too. Drones, antibiotics redundancy, economic collapse, climate chaos, rising fascism, poison, flammable water, filthy air, radioactive waste, industrialized human trafficking, police armies, China rising, peak resources, famine, plagues, population implosion, etc. Put all these things together in the one picture and say hello to the future. What are we? Where have we come from? Where are we going? Freaks me right out. The possibility that we do not have free will, which I personally believe to be true. That we are just walking, thinking, albeit sophisticated machines. Recently I heard a Radiolab episode, titled, Loops, for those interested, which included a woman who temporarily suffered from transient global amnesia. This condition temporarily inhibits you from creating new memories. When the woman was visited by her daughter, they had the same conversation for 2.5 hours straight. Down to her mannerisms. It makes for a good case that we are just input-output machines, and it completely creeps me out. Shudders. The inevitability and still the doubt. There are 2 big theories on how the universe will end, and both are so utterly successful at destroying any hope or belief in a meaning of life that it is better for you to stop reading here. Well, you wanted it. 1. The Big Crunch. All will end when the universe contracts and goes back to the infinitely small point where it all began. Everything we could ever do or say will be futile. There is no chance at all for humanity or any life whatsoever. 2. The Infinite Expansion. The universe will keep expanding infinitely. The distance between stars will grow so far that the resources in a solar system will not be enough anymore to visit the next. The suns will all die, slowly, over time, eliminating the last light and warmth, giving flickers in an endlessly expanding dead and quiet universe. All that lives will first be caught in a solar system and then die rapidly when all resources are used up and the star dies. That is the end. All that we can ever do or think will have been pointless, caught in one dead solar system for eternity. In short, life is so incredibly meaningless and futile that there is nothing in the world you can even try to create meaning for your own existence. And we don't even know in which way it is meaningless. All we know is that it must be because it cannot be otherwise. Camus said it best. Greater than a man who has once seen the absurd will never again escape it. You are welcome. That I am getting older. At 30 I already have aches from past injuries. It's scary to think about how much worse it will get later in life. And finding love with someone I find attractive. I am not attracted to older people now, 45 plus. I am not sure if that's gonna change when I am 45 plus. I also have a fear that I am worrying about dumb stuff, and by that age I'll have so many other problems. I'll kick myself in the ass for wasting my life worrying about what I worry about now. I become really freaked out when I think about myself. That my entire consciousness is contained within a small, soft, squishy ball of gray matter and other things I haven't learned about yet, is a huge source of uneasiness to me. To think that all of my memories, all of my feelings, everything that makes me, me, can be found in a poorly protected, easily injured glob of mass inside my head, I honestly get a little panicky. Another thing I notice is that sometimes my brain will suggest I do the absolute worst possible thing. If I'm driving, my brain will say something like, "Hey, businessman Vader, hey, wouldn't it be funny if you just didn't stop at that red light? Or if you just swerved into the other lane and hit that tractor trailer head on? Wouldn't that be great?" I am honestly not suicidal at all. I really enjoy my life, but it definitely gives me a pit in my stomach because I realize how easily I could die, kill others. Or I will walk into a room and immediately size up everyone there. I'm a pretty big guy, but I'm in no way a fighter, and my mind will still look and try to determine who could stop me if I went on a rampage. This scares me because in a lot of rooms, there isn't that other guy, girl that could take me down. I am not an overly violent person, never been in a fight, but that's what my mind does. Just my 2 cents. When my children will have finally lived their whole life, the longest and the happiest as possible, and at their deathbeds, I wished I were there for them, comforting them, holding them in my arms, putting my hand in their hairs and telling them how I love them. But I won't be there for them on that ultimate day, having been gone myself since long. This feeling does not compare to anything else, like a vertigo of sadness. What if everything is based around me? Like everybody I know is there as a sort of actor to fill in my existence, and when I go abroad everyone there prepares for weeks just for the moment that I walk past them or buy something in their shop. Or that the people posting on Reddit don't even exist, it is just something that will fill up my time because I am the only thing that matters. I cannot get this idea out of my head. A few things that drive me crazy or make me feel awful. The beginning of the universe. Whatever your belief, whether it be that someone created the universe or whether it was the Big Bang or whatever else, I always think that surely at some point there had to be nothing. Surely, there was nothing around whatsoever. It's hard to comprehend nothingness, but if there was nothing around, how did something actually come into existence? I just find it hard to comprehend that one tiny atom or molecule or a person existed and things continued from there. How can something just have existed at the start of time? Our current lives. Again, it changes on your beliefs, but there is a good chance that this is the only life you may get. I like my life, I like the people around me, my friends, my family, the situation I'm in. I'm content with it. We grow older and the people around us will inevitably disappear, and by that I mean friendships don't last forever. Think in regards to primary school, high school, college, and university. We meet loads of people and we make friends with them, but for whatever reason, you don't stay in touch with them. As time goes on you lose more and more friends as people move away or you do or whatever. I just think as time passes, it is sad that I don't get to stay in touch with these people or they don't really feel the need to stay in touch either. It's hard when that person you were close friends with in year N are now slowly fading out of your life, and no matter what you do, you can't stay in touch with them because they aren't really all that bothered. Further to that point, death. If we die, is that it? How depressing would that be? That after we die, there's nothing, that we just disappear and we'll never know about anything ever again. If not, and we reincarnate or something else, would that not also be depressing? In my case it would. Like I said, I like my life at the moment. Although it's a meaningless point as I would be none the wiser, I don't like to think about not knowing about the people I have in my life at the moment. Neither do I like to think about not knowing about the experiences I've had so far in my life. There's more things, but I'll leave it at that. That the idea of a continuing consciousness is likely just an illusion. We wake up every day and assume we are the same person, but we aren't. You look back at yourself 10 years ago and that person is already gone. You are not the same as they were and in many instances, can't relate to the things they cared about or thought were crucially important. There is no such thing as the self, just this strange little compulsion to assume we are the same, continuous person. Add to this the likelihood that free will is also an illusion and we are actually largely predictable creatures based on a combination of genes, experience and stimuli, and the only thing holding the concept of I am together is very slender indeed. Even reality as we observe it through our senses is just a picture that our brain builds from the limited input it gets. There are light spectrums and radiation we can't see, our sense of linear time is a construct, and our intellect only allows us to understand things in macro, three-dimensional terms. We're looking at reality through a tiny pinpoint and the rest is just veiled or beyond our senses and comprehension, yet our brains create something that feels rich and full. It's yet another illusion. Everything is a damn illusion. We're just lucky that most other humans share the same one, so we have somebody to talk to about it. That any girl you sleep with can put you in prison if she regrets it the next morning. No evidence is required. All she has to do is say that you raped her. That knowledge makes it difficult to maintain an erection. Alcohol can help dull the terror, but it's always there. Then you have to spend the next several weeks looking over your shoulder. You want to text her to see if she's experiencing any buyer's remorse, but that might look bad if she is. She was eager. She was smiling. She seemed super into it, but you can't control how she'll feel tomorrow. And girls are very good at blaming other people for their own choices. If she regrets it and feels taken advantage of, then your only option is suicide. This cold fact of reality is something most straight guys are blissfully unaware of, until it's too late. And I should know, for I am a girl. Videotape that shit, guys. Videotape that shit. That despite Western society reaching new levels of knowledge, and ease of availability to know just about anything, we still have hardcore pockets of religions that can threaten to take political power and change the way we live to suit their ideals. They want to stunt society's forward progress for their simple-minded blind ambitions, and not a single one of you will benefit if they succeed. The fact that religious groups have such strong influences today is scary, and the fact that they seem to be getting either stronger or more desperate is going to raise one hell of a shitstorm.